notes today. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ann Boehner. I serve as Sales Manager for Visual Impact, promoting our EARTHSCAPES landscape design software. And we do appreciate your time and your interest to learn how you can provide your clients with a unique design experience. Back to those housekeeping notes. If there are any questions throughout today's webinar presentation on the EARTHSCAPES program, be sure to use the GoToWebinar screen, and you can enter any of your questions within the questions box or within the chat box. After today's presentation, I will provide you with the contact information to the Visual Impact Imaging office. So you can contact us by email or by phone. That way we can answer your specific questions of how the EARTHSCAPES program can fit into your company and into your design methodology. So let's just go ahead and I'll check a few things before we get started, make sure everybody is able to see the screen as well as everybody is logged in. So what we'll go ahead and start with first, we know there are many design solutions for you to choose from. The EARTHSCAPES program is different, and we won't go through the whole list of features, but just to give you a general idea of what EARTHSCAPES has to offer to you and to your company, EARTHSCAPES is a landscape design tool, a software application. You do receive this program. It's installed locally to your machine, and using EARTHSCAPES, you have the ability to create before and after photo designs as well as your traditional overhead site plans. And we'll go through both of those processes here today during the webinar presentation. The most effective sales tool for your clients, and what clients love to see, are the photo designs created with EARTHSCAPES. And I'll just share with you here on the screen the photo imaging, what we're looking at now, starting with a digital picture of your client's job site. So you go out and take that photo, or you have your client send to you by email a picture of their project site. They could also bring in a flash stick, or maybe bring in their digital camera to the design services offered within your retail store. Bring in that original photo, the before picture of the job site. You open up that image within the EARTHSCAPES application, and you can see here on the screen that you can instantly take a new build, or maybe this is a project site that has old landscape materials. We can erase away what's already there and then drag and drop design concepts onto the screen. The EARTHSCAPES software does offer to you a library of over 6,000 images, and these images do range from your hardscape materials such as patio work, of course you have a fire pit, outdoor kitchen elements, architectural elements such as pergolas, fencing, outdoor living items, patio furniture, water feature, your plant material. The plant material will range for all of the USDA plant hardiness zones. So we do have plants for Southern Texas, Southern California, your arid zones. We also have plant materials for zone 4, 5, and 6. And with the library, you're not limited to the plants that are featured in the library. You can build upon this library, really customizing, being able to share to your clients exactly what your design thoughts are, your vision for this particular project site. And we'll walk through the steps of how to take some unique photos, some unique design elements, and turn them into the objects as you see here on the screen, so you can show our customers instantly before and after. Now, the EARTHSCAPES program works great for garden centers, for landscape design build companies, for retail stores that want to promote their products. It works wonderful for both residential properties, as what we have in view right now, as well as your commercial job sites. So if we did have a development, maybe a front entrance to a corporate park, front entrance to a housing development, again, we can drag and drop, instantly share with our clients the before and the after, and what sort of impact our design vision, our services will offer for that particular project site. Again, just an instant before and after. You'll notice with this particular design, we did have some scrubby junipers that were part of the bed. No need to take the time to erase those. When we drag and drop new items onto the screen, it does cover up. So this is a time saver. But let's get to a project site that may have the old plant material that we'd like to clean up. So again, you're going to receive a photo of the before picture of the project site, or take a photo yourself, and this could be with a digital camera, or what a lot of the EARTHSCAPES customers are doing is they're taking a photo with their phone, emailing it back to the office, and then you can work directly off of that photo. You'll be very impressed. Actually, I'm quite impressed with the quality that the camera phones are taking nowadays. But we do have our original photo. It's in full screen. Take notice that in front of the lattice work, we have some old shrubbery. We also have the mailbox. We'd like to clean up these existing elements and really start from scratch. Working with the EARTHSCAPES program, you do receive a full license of Corel Photo Paint as well as Corel Designer. The benefit of having this strategic partnership with Corel is that we can offer to you, as part of the EARTHSCAPES license, all of the professional photo editing tools available within Corel Photo Paint. So it will give you the best results in the end, as well as you're not limited to file formats that you can save, that you can accept, or that you can open or keep within your archive. You are compatible with JPEGs, bitmap, TIFF files, PDF files, and as we move over to the Site Plan Designer, you'll see that we are compatible with AutoCAD files, DXF and DWG files. Getting back to our design, we did mention that we'd like to remove away the old plant material. So let's zoom in. It's always a good idea to get an up-close picture of what we're working on, an up-close look. So I zoomed in on a section of the bay that we have our lattice, we have our old shrub. Available within the EARTHSCAPES program, we do have a clone tool. Now this clone tool is the tool that will allow for you to change the brush shape as well as the size. I'm selecting a solid 30 square. And the clone tool gives you the ability to erase away old landscape. It is a copy-paste function, so anything that that left box sees is being copied and immediately placed into the box on the right. So we'll just reset our clone. We'll go back out to a full screen, so we're just resizing our image back out. And once we place our second box in the second bay, again, anything that the box on the left sees or crosses over is being copied. So as I cross over that support beam, recopies the support beam. As I move into the grass, it recopies the grass. It's very slick and easy. You can arrange the clone tool on the horizontal, the vertical, diagonal, and this is going to provide you with the tools to get, again, the results that you want. Once items have been cleaned out, the next step or the process that I'd like to share with you is adding grass. So we are working with the left-hand side of our screen, the vertical toolbar. And if I place my cursor over top of any of these tools, you'll see that we do have a flyout indicating what that function does. And I'm selecting a masking tool. We'd like to mask off an area and add new grass. So I'm just simply left-click as I go to open up a mask line. You see this black and white line that's produced on my screen. And we want to fill this with a grass texture. Loaded in EARTHSCAPES, ready for you to work with and use, are your different textures. So we do have mulches and grasses, paver materials, leaves for barren trees. You can also add your own textures, and this means different pavers, different crushed stones, different types of mulch. you're limitless in terms of what you can add to this texture palette. Well, we'll go ahead and select the grass texture, and we'll use our fill bucket. You'll notice that my cursor has changed into the bucket icon, and I can simply just left-click inside my mask line, and we have a new lawn that's been established. This is where the fun begins. This is where you can access the Visual Impact Library and begin dragging and dropping your elements, your design features, onto the screen. When you drop an item onto the screen, you'll notice that we do have resizing boxes that appears around this object, and I can resize it proportionally, or we can stretch or shrink this object to the horizontal or vertical. Again, left-click and drag from the library. Resize your objects as needed, so we're just sizing down. To duplicate objects, we press D as in dog on the keyboard. You'll notice that it produces that duplicate for you very fast and easy. So the design time should only take you 30 minutes if you are working with a client or if you're working back in the office. Again, drag and drop any elements you want to see, size them, stretch them, make them fit your design as needed. And what's nice about the EARTHSCAPES program, all of our objects are sitting on their own layers. So you'll notice right now our grass is in front of our shrubs. If we wanted to place them behind, we can use the darker window on the right-hand side of our screen. The background is at the bottom of the list. It's at the very background of our image. The top of the list is the forefront, the very most the item that sits on the very top of all of our other objects. We can simply just left-click and drag this grass through the layers, and you'll notice that we have our grass behind our shrubs now. So it's very easy to add an additional item, such as maybe an accent rock or a bird bath, or as we have an example here, that grass behind the shrubs. And again, you can position your object as needed. One of the features that I think is a great time saver is the ability to add on your mulch, paint it on. And you can paint on your mulch at any time of the design process. So I went back into our textures, changed the grass to a mulch. And now I'm going to select our texture tool. And this does give you the ability to change your paintbrush shape as well as the size. But you'll notice that I can paint directly over top of my objects. That mulch goes right down to the base layer. And I'll share with you one other step. We can change our mulch to a patio paver, perform the same operation just by painting on any paver material, and it's already in perspective. Again, those textures can be changed, so if you are working with a specific manufacturer, different color, different pattern of pavers, you can add those. You can load those to the texture palette. Another benefit with the EARTHSCAPES program, I'm going to share with you, we'll go in and select a different style of paver. And we did notice how we can resize our design elements. We can resize the plant material. You can also rotate your object to the left or to the right, or we can lay them into perspective. So if we wanted to take our own photo of some pavers, of a design element, lay it into the photo, lay it into our design, that can be done. And that's with the perspective tool. After it is performed, if you wanted to round out any corners, we certainly can take our eraser tool and make this item fit within our photo. Your final designs can be saved as JPEGs, bitmap, TIFF files. You will want to save them as the Corel photo paint file, so you can go back in tomorrow, next week, or even a month from now, go back in and be able to make the changes. Select the shrub, move it around, delete it if needed, and drag and drop another object for your customer's review. Some other examples that we have here, let's say we are working with specific design features that we want to add to the library. This could be a specific manufacturer. This could be a particular plant. You can go online, and I'll just pull up a website. We go online if we wanted to look for any particular item. Let's say our customer's really looking at a specific fireplace. You can take this item online. It is a digital photo, a digital file, and within the Photo Paint program, we can open up that particular item. Using some of the tools that we just worked with, I'm using a masking tool. I can mask this object. I only want the fireplace. I don't want the white background behind. We're going to turn that mask into its own object. So you see that we have a duplicate that's been produced. And the goal is to get rid of that background. So I'll select background on the right-hand side of the screen, and we'll press delete. To remove the remainder of the white background, we can go back into our masking tools. We'll select a magic wand. Now this magic wand is an awesome tool if we're working with a plant and we need to cut away the background, or for this particular case, I want to remove most of that white. It's based upon color tolerance. So any of the areas that I select around my object, it picks up that color, and then I can use my scissors to cut that area away. Now, if there are any pixels that are left over, I can simply use my eraser tool. This object could be saved as is, added to the library, or if you are working with a client at the retail store, you wanted to immediately show them what this object would look like on their project site. Let's just go back out to a big screen. We can drag and drop it immediately onto that project site, resize this object as needed. So we just resize the object down. And again, the customer can see instantly before and after. If we wanted to show a true before and after, I'm just going to combine the fireplace with our other object. And you can see that this is a very dramatic change. So we did take pretty much this muddy backyard, a barren backyard. We're able to add the privacy fence, able to add some hardscape elements, a little bit of a planting bed, but it's a huge difference. And this is what your customer wants to see. This is what they get excited about. This is why they come to you as that expert. You're the one that has that vision in your mind. With EARTHSCAPES, you can then share this vision with them by way of a photo. Lastly, let's just go into one more example of what you can do with the EARTHSCAPES program. I know a lot of landscape companies are now getting into offering the holiday lights. With EARTHSCAPES, you can darken up your picture so it does appear as though it's dusk or dark. We do have a lighting effects feature. So if you wanted to add any up lights or down lights, you have the ability to do so. Change the intensity of that light, change the cone size. And I'll just open up the studio for you real quick so you can see what I'm referring to. So this would be your light placement. We can change the direction of that light. You can change the cone size, how opaque or transparent the light needs to be, the angle of the light so we can make it more of an uplight or a downlight, a spotlight, and also the color. But if we did not want to do your traditional night lighting effects, from the library, you can drag and drop holiday elements that are included. This does include your string lights, any special features such as the icicle lights that are displayed. And all of these features are objects, just like the plants, just like the hardscape materials that we can drag and drop, resize as needed, and we're creating for our customers a visual of what services we can offer to them. I'm now going to go into the Site Plan Designer. If anyone does have any questions, we certainly, you can enter those into the webinar dialog box. I want to make sure we get everything in before we wrap up today. EARTHSCAPES includes the Site Plan Designer, which is your overhead to-scale drawing. And we were using Corel Photo Paint for our photo designs. We're using Corel Designer X for the Site Plan Designer. Again, you receive that full license for Corel Photo Paint and Corel Designer with your purchase of EARTHSCAPES. Just take a note here as we have our screen in view. You can create your designs both in black and white or full color as what is displayed on the screen. Even more importantly, if you wanted to add transparencies to your plant symbols, please take note the symbol in the lower right-hand corner. You can add that transparency so we can see the understory, what's planted underneath that canopy tree. You can also add different fills, fountain fills, to give more of an artistic or rendered look to your designs. On a side note, I do want to share with you, since you are working with the Corel platform, you do have the ability to turn both your photo designs as well as your site plans into artistic watercolors or pencil sketches. So if you don't want to completely remove yourself or not offer your customers that artistic expression as you traditionally did with your hand-drawn designs, you can make it happen with EARTHSCAPES. Let's take a look at another example. This is an example of how you can utilize a Google Map image, or some of you may be using the Go Island service. Go Island is great. You can enter in the property address. It produces for you the aerial photo of that job site. Import it into the Site Plan Designer. You can immediately drag and drop your plant symbols onto that aerial map, or if you wanted, you can use that aerial map as your base plan. Trace over any of the design features such as the foundation, the property lines that you need to keep and capture, then continue with your plant placement and placing all your plant symbols. And of course, you can use the EARTHSCAPES program to lay out any of your irrigation plans. The one feature that is not included in EARTHSCAPES is any sort of irrigation pressure calculation. So for example, you can see on our screen we can lay out all of our spray patterns, our head placements. You can lay out your piping, dedicate that to a specific layer, but it's not going to do any calculations for you, any pressure loss calculations. Just going to open up a file here. To get started, we would choose New from Template. You do have the ability to select your scale. So we can select either our architectural scale, which is our 1/4, 1/8, 1/2 of an inch equals a foot, or we can select our engineering scale, 1 inch equals 10 feet, and as you can see, the other scales that are offered. If you had a custom scale, that's not a problem either. You can custom create a page size as well as the scale that you're using. So I'll just choose the 1 to 10. We'll click on Open. If you had an existing base plan as a PDF or an AutoCAD file, you simply would go to File and Import at this particular time. If we wanted to use the line tool to draw our foundation, to draw our property lines, we can now move ahead and do so. So first I'm going to change my units to feet, and working again with the left-hand side toolbar, that left vertical toolbar, we do have line tools, 2-point line. We'll work with our curve lines here momentarily. So let's select our 2-point line tool. As I left-click and drag, the footage of that line is given to me at the bottom of the screen. To control the line like it is a straight edge, I hold the Shift key as I draw my line. You can manually enter in the length of this line. That's going to happen on the right-hand side of our screen. I can manually type in a length of 75 feet, press Enter. That line automatically adjusts for the dimension that I entered, according to the scale that you chose. Let's just go back into our curve line. To draw your bed lines, we're using a B-spline tool. This allows for you to bend and stretch, move this line like elastic. If any changes had to be made, we can double tap on this line, and you can further manipulate, which is outstanding. So many of the design applications, design programs that you've worked with in the past, they don't give you this flexibility. You end up with very jagged bed lines. You can't create a smooth curve, and above and beyond creating those smooth curves, the smooth bed lines, we do have the option to go in and select the geometric information for the shape that we drew on our page. I'm going to select feet as our units of measure, and you'll notice that we do have our perimeter, our area, 3 inches of mulch or amendment. This does provide us with our cubic feet as well as our cubic yards. One additional line tool that I'd like to share with you before we work with our imported site plan is the freehand curve. If you don't want to lose the freedom that you had with pen and paper, the freehand curve is going to be your tool. And just watch, I can freeform any lines. Even if I'm a little bit jagged, a little bit shaky, it's going to automatically smooth that line out for me. We can go back in, double tap on this line, and it does give you some control points where we can make some adjustments to this line as needed. I'm going to close out of this file. We'll return back to our imported site plan. Just as you would with your traditional drafting methods, we have our existing base plan. We're going to add a new layer, a piece of tracing paper on top of this base plan. To add a new layer, we're going to go over to the right-hand side of our screen. And at the bottom, you'll notice that we have the option to add a new layer. So you can add this piece of tracing paper. And many times when you receive that existing base plan or survey map, there's added dimensions. There's added measurements that you're not going to need. You don't want those dimensions to clutter up your final design. So instead of taking the time to erase away all of these additional lines, let's instead trace over what we want to keep. That's going to be using our line tools. So I'll just begin a left click, and I'm just dragging my mouse. You'll see that I have a line, like a string, attached to my cursor. And I'm just moving on the foundation, left click on each of the vertex. Left click as I go. Once I get back, if we wanted to turn off that original base plan, you'll see that I have a clean page to work off of. We can go back into our B-spline tools. This is the curved line that has a little bit of control, a lot of control, and a bit of freedom for you to draw your bed lines. If you needed to make any changes, we can double tap on that line, push this line a little bit further out. Your plant symbols are available in the library, and you have over 500 symbols to work with. Let's just go up to our plant symbols. Plant symbols are available in black and white as well as full color. And you can choose what you want to represent your oaks, your hardwoods, your evergreens, your shrubs, your flowers. You drag and drop these objects onto the screen, similar to the photo paint program. You can place these objects as needed. To duplicate, we press that D as in dog, the D key on our keyboard, produces a duplicate. And we can label these objects with a call-out. We can label them with a legend. If you do assign properties to this particular symbol, available within the EARTHSCAPES program, we have an estimator. And every time you drag and drop an object onto the screen with properties assigned to it, such as the name as well as the price, it's going to automatically produce for you an estimate, a running tally of what you have placed on that particular site plan. Of course, you can always modify this list by changing the quantities. We can add additional line items. You can clone this estimate, be able to add additional line items or services for your customers, so they do have option 1 or option 2. And the database where you enter the properties for your item is within the screen that we have up on our window right now. So, for example, if we wanted to change the information for the spirea, I can change the description or add to the description that's already received to you with the EARTHSCAPES program. We can enter in a unit price. You can change the symbol that's associated to this item. That's just by a left click and a drag and drop over to that white box. And again, you have all of your symbols, black and white, as well as color. And if you wanted to make those changes, you simply drag that new item over to that white box. Lastly, what I'd like to share with you, within the EARTHSCAPES library, what is nice is we do have a recently used folder. So if you are working on a project and you want to go back to maybe a paver or maybe a design element that you recently dragged and dropped onto the previous design, it's just going to be cached. It's going to be temporarily saved within this recently used catalog. We also have a favorite catalog. So you can assign maybe your tried and true plant material or the design elements that really are your signature for your company. You can add that to your favorites. This is also where you would add any of the objects that you cut out. You can add it to your favorites, or you can associate them to any of the catalogs available within the EARTHSCAPES program. If you wanted to search for a particular item, we do have a search function. We can enter in the scientific name, or we can enter in a common name. And I'll just begin typing in oak leaf hydrangea. And you can see that we do have a couple items that are populated for us. We would simply drag and drop this object onto the design. The EARTHSCAPES program, if you do purchase the complete package, it does include the photo imaging, the site plan designer, the estimator screen, which we just worked with, as well as free technical support and a 30-day money-back guarantee. The EARTHSCAPES complete package is a license for 2 computers. You can install on a laptop as well as a desktop. The price of EARTHSCAPES sells for just under $1,200. It sells for $11.95. It includes everything that I mentioned: photo imaging, site plan designer, library, estimator application, your free technical support, your 30-day money-back guarantee. If you need additional stations, let's say this is a large company, you have multiple retail locations, garden centers, different branch locations, you can purchase additional stations, and for an estimate, just contact the Visual Impact Imaging Office and we can get you a quote. Usually additional stations range from, it's about half of the original purchase price of the EARTHSCAPES program. If you already have a site plan design software, your company chooses to produce your overhead site plans by hand, and you're not interested in the complete package, Visual Impact Imaging does offer just a photo imaging application. So if you only want EARTHSCAPES, the photo imaging edition, so you only receive the before and after photo design capabilities with your library, that sells for $595. It's a great way to get into the EARTHSCAPES program. And getting into that program, if you do have the interest of adding on the site plan designer at a later date, you can. You're not limited. You can always add on that site plan designer at a later time. If you're interested in moving forward with the EARTHSCAPES program today, again, we do appreciate your time, your interest in working with us during today's webinar. We are offering the special promotion of a 10% savings on your purchase of the EARTHSCAPES program. So it is taking that $11.95 price, it's bringing it down to $10.75. So you are saving some money on the EARTHSCAPES program. Simply call into the office today, and I will provide the telephone information here momentarily. Tell them that you participated in today's webinar, you'd like to move forward. You do have that 30-day money-back guarantee. You have the free technical support. So we do have an interest of getting you up and running. Some resources that we provide to all of our EARTHSCAPES customers. You do receive a tutorial booklet. You also have a training and reference CD. So these are items that you can work with in getting yourself familiar with the tools and the functions of how to create the landscape photo designs as well as the overhead site plans. With the tutorial booklet, it does have a before picture of a house, of a property, and it's going to walk you through the steps of how to add grass, how to add the walkways, the plant material. So when you're finished walking through step by step, almost like a paint by number application or operation, you will have a completed landscape. Couple that with the videos of our training and reference CD. You're going to fully understand the tools and the features available within EARTHSCAPES. And to continue engaging our customers in what EARTHSCAPES has to offer, we do offer a weekly email that gets sent out to our EARTHSCAPES customers, and that's called the Tip of the Week. And every Monday you'll receive, as an EARTHSCAPES customer, an email saying, hey, new tip is available on our forum. Check it out. Here's the subject. When you go onto the forum, it does have screenshots. It has step-by-step instructions. It's just an additional resource. It's something that you have access to 24/7. On that forum, if you have any notes for our staff, suggestions for plant material, you want to see announcements, trade shows we're going to, training classes, on-site training classes, that's all going to be posted on the forum. And lastly, since we are offering the webinars as part of a tool to better inform the landscape industry what EARTHSCAPES can do, we're also using the EARTHSCAPES webinar series to reach back to our current customer base, and we're performing a weekly webinar to our existing customers just with some quick tips and tricks of how you can maybe become a bit more efficient with the EARTHSCAPES application. If you do have any questions about the software, you certainly can contact our office. And let me just pull up our website that will have our contact information, as well as, if I can pull up my GoToMeeting screen, and I'll just enter in our telephone number. If you have any questions, you certainly can call our office. The telephone number is 330-259-7661. And you'll see that here on our screen now, 330-259-7661. And I'll also type in the email address, and I'll just give you my email address. It's Ann@visualimpactimaging.com. So if you do have any questions, you can reach me at that email address, Ann@visualimpactimaging.com. If you are interested in moving forward, don't forget about that special promotion. You will receive the EARTHSCAPES Complete Package for the $10.75 price compared to the $1,200 price, the $11.95. Let me just take a look to see if we have any questions that came in. It looks as though Lucas asked, is there a technical guide included with the software? You do receive a user guide. It's going to be a digital format, so if you wanted to know all of the ins and the outs of the Corel Photo Paint as well as the Corel Designer, we can go to the help function, of course, help topics. We can type in, for example, the subject here is lighting. So I can click on that lighting, and it does produce for me just any of these subjects, any of the tools that explains the lighting effect. You do receive a specific manual on the EARTHSCAPES program of how you can create the landscapes with the EARTHSCAPES software, and that's going to be a physical tutorial booklet as well as a training reference CD. The user forum that has the tip of the week emails listed and archived, as well as the weekly webinars for our customers to come back to. If you do want the EARTHSCAPES tips of the week, we have over 100 tips. It's about 500 pages of tips, and it's color printed out in a binder for you so that all those tips are bound. That is available for an additional price, and you can purchase that at a later date if needed. Taking a look to see if we have any additional questions. I do appreciate everyone's time today to learn more about the EARTHSCAPES program. EARTHSCAPES is a great solution to serve as a complement to your existing design process. If you are using a different site plan design tool at this time, or if you want to continue with your hand-drawn designs but need that photo to complement the hand-drafted designs, to complement the site plans that you're already creating, EARTHSCAPES is awesome. Also, if you are looking for an invaluable tool that allows for your sales team to offer a unique design service to your customers, EARTHSCAPES is it. They can come in, sit with your sales staff, the customer can come and sit with your sales team, and within 30 minutes, you're producing a design. You're showing them exactly what your company, what your products can do for your clients. So we know EARTHSCAPES creates those landscape plans that your clients love. Hopefully today we were able to share with you how EARTHSCAPES can work for you. And if you have any questions, please contact our office. If you need to share the EARTHSCAPES program with anyone else in your company, your organization, please visit us at visualimpactimaging.com. We do have videos, so if you wanted to see some different functions or applications in use, you can go online and view those videos at your convenience. Thanks again. Just taking a second look to see if we have any questions that come in. I don't see any at this time, but you have a wonderful day. Again, my name is Ann Banner. Take advantage of that discount. Give us a call, and we look forward to serving your design needs. Have a great day.